with a mighty voice. See now. So come away from the land of the sinking sand. So come away, run away from the land of Sodom and Gomorrah. So come away from the land of the sinking sand. Tribute to Michael, one of the exponent of Nyahbinghi, bring it in the four corners with some nice presentation. So we give thanks Rastafari Roots Fest, and the seminar continue. Our topic this evening, yeah? Living the Creed. Living the Creed. So the Rasta Creed said, we stand up and just rock the creed now at the beginning. All rise for the Rastafari Creed. We're asking all ones on their feet for the Rastafari Creed who's able to do so. So princes and princesses must tread out of Babylon. Ethiopians now stretch forth their hands unto Jah. Oh, I Jah of Ethiopia, I divine majesty. Thy high roots come into I heart to dwell in the paths of righteousness, lead I. Help I to forgive, that I must be forgiven. Teach I love, loyalty on earth as it is in Mount Zion. Endow I with thy wise mind, knowledge, and understanding to do thy will. Thy blessing to I, O Jah. Let the hungry be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, and the infants cared for. Deliver I from the hands of our enemies, that I must prove fruitful in these perilous days. When our enemies are past and decayed, in the depths of the sea, in the depths of the earth, or in the belly of the beast, oh, give I a place in thy ivory living kingdom. Through the eye of the King of kings and the Lord of lords, the conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, the elect of himself and the light of this world, our divine majesty, Emperor Haile, Emperor Haile, Emperor Haile, in the grand centenary year of Rastafari. Give thanks. Haile. And you know, as we say the creed, beloved, our beloved Elder Bongo Rocky said, when it says Ethiopians shall stretch forth their hands, you must stretch out your hands, son. Because you're not going to get anything. Your hands just stay soft and you will receive. Not like that. Hitler go like that. We go like this. Ethiopians shall stretch forth their hands. So you get your stretch forth your hands. And if you stretch out two, you get more than 2 and 2. Hallelujah. Give thanks and praise as we fulfill the creed. How could we not fulfill our creed? I mean, long before Owl Fitzvalentine and all the elders talk about this creed. The hungry be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, and the infants cared for. And as recent time, the younger generation has said, you know, so the ignorant must be educated. Because that's one big problem amongst we. Too much ignorance. And when we have a set of ignorant people, we have problem. So our responsibility is also to educate. Not just to feed them, clothe them, take care of them bodily needs and worldly needs. Education is part of your existence. Without that, big problem. And part of our problem is ignorance as a people. We lost the whole history, we don't know about it, we hate one another, we do all type of things with one another, we don't know, we have no race consciousness, so many deficiencies because of lack of this quality education. And His Majesty said the education I'm talking about, that is confined to the 4 walls of a classroom. Because the man who can go out there and plant a seed and know which time to plant it, how to bud it, because even ganja is a part of education. If you plant ganja, that's one simple thing for just go out there and plant it. You have to be educated. The man who plant the sweet potato, he have to know which way to turn the slip that it can burst from the soil. You have to even watch the signs of the moon to know which time is a fertile season. Just like in childbearing, you don't feel like you will have sex during a time when there's no eggs around and checks and the wife will get pregnant. So you have to use the science of knowledge to study the ovulation timing. Forget it right. As a family man, we can talk them things, don't it? Rastafari. So we give thanks. The creed is so important to us. So I don't know who can introduce this. I, Marcus. So Marcus, hard worker in Rastafari. And when we have Bridget like them, we don't just introduce him as Ras Marcus, you know. We have put on him accolades to make people know, say, the education where his modesty are taught about. We don't just want singers and players of instruments. That's why I build the King transform in Palace to become a university and out of private money. He built the Tafari Makonnen School in 1924 in personal money. The king had built school. The king had driving a Rolls Royce, and when him look, him see a youth on the road. Him tell one of him escort, go and get that child and see to it that that child goes to a school. Him see a blind man one day, royal motorcade through Addis Ababa, and him say to him officer, say, you go and get that man over there. I walk with a stick, can't hardly find him way. Take him up to the school of the blind. And you know the history record that that same man he took off the street as a young man who was physically challenged, visually impaired. That man became a high court judge in Addis Ababa. But we applaud Emperor Haile Selassie first. Father of education. And when he set up his constitution in 1931, you know which portfolio him take? That of the Minister of Education. No prime ministers and presidents and leaders love the finance part of things, you know. But what the king took was education. The hardest, the most tedious task was that of the Ministry of Education. And his mother to take that on and go in the remote villages and make certain the youths, Ethiopian youths, were educated. So we are emphasize education. We want to introduce Ras Marcus as attorney at law. Ras Marcus Goff. I want the audience to give him a nice round of applause.
And I want to give thanks for the ones who are here with us today. This ISIS, give thanks for the gathering and for the ones from near and far. Trust Iva has already introduced the panel, really, within the creed, no, within the theme, living the creed, the Rastafari creed. And so the panel that we had organized for this final day of Rastafari Roots Fest is on living the creed. So I have to my left here Ras Flako Tafari. Ras Flako is the Vice President of the Word Sound Power Collective, an organization that channels funds and ensures its use and application for the benefit of Rastafari ancients. And he'll be speaking about the organization, the work of what they've been doing for over 10 years now, and how he thinks as a community we can move forward with these kind of models to ensure community development and sustainability and care for the ancients and for the free overall. So one round of applause, this was Clark Rastafari from Word Sound Power Collective in the house. I also like to invite Dr. Jelani Naya from the Rastafari Studies Center at the University of the West Indies to also join the panel.
We have to go forward in the 21st century. From the downtrodden Rasta we couldn't go to school. No school never want Rasta picnic. Them never want we educated. So when we have an attorney at law, Boboshanti say, oh, he has dreadlocks. Which school did he go? Boboshanti wouldn't like it. Dr. Jelani Naya at the University of the West Indies. No man, Boboshanti, Dr. who? The man that gets rid of Dr. Walter Rodney, Don't make me take these things for granted. It's a victory of good over evil. So, we applaud Dr. Jelani Naya from the University of the West Indies. That's the power.
So this panel was also to be joined by Ras Imo from Rastafari Business and Professional Association, RBPA. They have been using funds donated through the community as well towards the care of ancients, having a regular care day from time to time at different locations, primarily in Kingston. As Imo asked me to apologize for his absence, he couldn't make it due to certain situations which happened suddenly. So he should be here also to share about what RBPA is doing to lend to the reasoning. But I will also share some of what I know they have been doing as well, so we can have that in the discussion as well. The Rastafari Choral Gardens Committee, or should I say Rastafari Choral Gardens Benevolent Society, were also on the panel, and was Aika Tafara, the chairperson, had said that a representative would be here, but I'm not able to confirm as yet, and so again, we apologize for their absence, but knowing that these are ones that are organizations from within the community that are working toward the same objective. Alright, so I'm going to ask Rastafari Tafara then to start off and to share word sound on behalf of the Word Sound Power Collective.
Rastafari, give thanks. Give thanks for inviting me and also give thanks for your presence. It is good to be here. I was here last year at a different level, but now I'm here again presenting Word Sound Power Collective. As Rastafari, it's also good to read from the teaching of His Majesty that would give us a good guideline on where to go, because His Majesty is Jah and King and we depend on Him for instructions. So let's see. His Majesty said, man must be educated. He cannot come to grips with or cope with or understand the modern world unless he has been taught about it. He must be assured of a minimum economic security. He cannot concern himself with matters going beyond the day-to-day satisfaction of his physical needs unless he is fed, clothed, sheltered, nor can he acquire a sufficient degree of social consciousness to be able to subordinate his own personal interests to the good of the nation and the development of society. His Majesty also says, in order to speed our economic development, most of us require extensive financial assistance. We need not to be ashamed of this fact, particularly when the poverty and ignorance from which our people suffer have been perpetuated through deliberate and long-standing policies of others. That is the teachings of Kanamawi Haile Selassie. Those things we should ponder and take into heart and try to apply them as best policies as way forward. I'm here representing Word Sound Power Collective. There are many here who have benefited from Word Sound Power Collective. They know themselves. Let me just read from what Word Sound Power Collective is on a whole. To give a background of Word Sound Power Collective, began to organize in 2006 as a result of online reasoning with the Global Rastafari family. Through this article reasoning, it became clear that I and I need to organize and fulfill the creed. While I and I may disagree about doctrine and personal liberty, I and I all agree to strive to fulfill the creed. The creed, although as Ivar explained more of the creed, we particularly take out this part as the most important part. Not saying that other parts are not important, but we specifically note these parts. Let the hungry be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, the ill protected, and the infants cared for. It has become abundantly clear that I and Rastafari elders are suffering in their twilight years. I began to be called to protect the aged from the beginning. Full transparency was continued to be of utmost importance. The organizers and advisors are 100% volunteers. I started with Word Sound Power Collective as an elder advisor. Through the 10 years, I've reached the status of a vice president. So it is not just work continuously, I've become there, so I have a vast amount of experience from that time until now. Our elders advisors identify these elders in need. That is my responsibility. The elders in need, especially in Jamaica, I identify them. If someone identifies them, I verify that there's a genuine need. That is part of my responsibility, and I bring that recommendation forward to the executive. Our current elders advisors are as follows. I'm Ras Flacco, Ras Sassi, most people know Ras Sassi, Nana Faraika from USA, and Was Rain Rose from IDOR. Those are the ones. Once an elder has been identified and I mobilize to support, if the need is medical in nature, funds are sent from the ancient medical assistance fund. So within World Sound Power Collective, there's an ancient medical assistance fund that money can be pulled from. Ones around the world donate funds regularly to this account. So in case there's an emergency and the money does not come in from donations, World Sound and Power go directly into the AMA fund and send that money. And we can respond quickly to medical needs, that is a priority. Needs of food, clothes and shelter is another priority. And I begin fundraising with goal in mind. The seal is 200 US, but it can go above that. World Sound and Power Collective once was doing rites of passage assistance, but it was costly too much because many people were going through that and it was not economically viable to do that, so we stopped from doing that. We morally would assist people who are alive and who have present needs. That is one of the priority in the real sense of it. At present, World Sound and Power Collective is a 501c3 registered organization in the USA, right? This is article of incorporation and all that stuff that we have here in front of me here, right? We are looking on, to be correctly, directors of World Sound Power Collective. We have Scott Mosher, who is the president, Ayman Rasflako, vice president, Sister Hatha, she is the secretary, and Michael Brotnick, who is the treasurer, that basically. But World Sound Power Collective, a global family also, who is in a wider pool that service the organization. Money sent from World Sound Power Collective does not go to Jamaica alone. It goes to Rastafari globally, in Ethiopia and in England, wherever they can be found. Because when you are fulfilling the creed, it does not say Nyahbinghi, it does not say Boboshanti, it does not say 12 tribes. The creed covers all. The creed covers everything. So far, money sent out for 2016 globally, 42,211 US dollars. That's money sent globally to Rastafari families who are in need. So we have also, there are different levels of fundraising because I am responsible for Wise Mind Publications, my book, as most people know. I document Rastafari elders on a level, and Rastafari World Sound Power Wise Mind Publication is in partnership with World Sound Power Collective. So whenever books are sold, that money goes to charity within the charitable pool of World Sound Power Collective. So most people are wondering why their books are being sold, why they're not getting any money and all that stuff. So that money goes back into that pool. Wherein, if I do a book for you and your book not even sell any money at all, and you're in a need, you're going to get more than the book sold. That's basically it. And if even there are other people too can get from that pool, so it's a pool of funds collectively. We also have Rastafari Voices, the DVD Rastafari Voices with I22 and Ma Shanti and Pa Shanti and Mama Bubbles. That is also on the Wise Man publication site, downloadable. So money comes from those also back into the pool. So there's a pool of funds that comes out. But the thing is that now our concern is, how can ones in Jamaica be more a partnership with World Sound Power Collective and identify the needs of the ancients, right? So I have I did a brochure, a booklet. This is it, World Sound Power Collective book, which is those who are basically in need, immediate needs. So I could, yeah, Bongo Jackman from Roseites, we have him there first. Most who can see. Bongo Jackman house is in bad condition. Very bad condition. We try to help him as best we can. Bongo Jackman have an earner and he have difficulty in doing things. We help also Bongo Isaac to finish his house. His house is not completed. That's Bongo Isaac right there. Details are on it. So we are not only in nutrition and things like that, we are in housing also. Housing, refurbishment, repair. We also help Mama Dean. Mama Dean have eye problems. We help Mama Dean same way, you know. The biggest project we had was for ancient Bob Roy. was almost, he had a 30-year-old board house in which was falling through on the floor. So we were able to put together $4,000 US to build him a 12 by 12. Jamaica is very expensive, you know. So $4,000 US could only build him a 12 by 12. So we are on another collecting drive to do his bathroom and his kitchen. So we're looking at another $3,000 US to finish his bathroom and kitchen, right? You can have an idea. That's pre-construction. You know, everything is documented. We have everything filed and documented. We have Mama Plate Cloth right there. She's a witness. Our Town Park Collective, she's right there. So we have living people right there. Right here. And we are looking on even helping Bongo Cecil, who is in Nyahbinghi. Bongo Cecil don't have a gates right now. You know, his condition is bad. So we're looking on how best we can pull from Jamaica side. We cannot depend on foreigners to fulfill the creed. We have to balance it. Some people say white man money and reparations money. That's not it. Those who send money are Rastafari, as well as travel the globe and all nations bow. This is not a discrimination, it's a racism, it's not about that. It is fulfilling the Nyahbinghi creed, which is responsibility of I and I all. See? So we're looking on how best can we fulfill the Nyahbinghi creed? How best can we partner with World Sound Power Collective? We have identified ones in here. The needs are here. It is an enormous task to gain money from individuals. So they say a target is 200 US. Some people put a $10, some people put 20, some people put 100, some people put 50. So the money accumulates. So what can Jamaica do now to balance those who are in need? Because it's people who we know, people who we see. It's full time. We shoulder that responsibility along with international organization of which I'm a part. I don't take the excuse on these things going on and say, boy, everybody is so fun time hard. These Rastafari tried from their 70, 80, 90, even Boboshanti. Right now we have found some Boboshanti. Why? Priest I-Tutu, we get money from Priest I-Tutu. Priest I-Tutu is legally blind 3 years now. We have a responsibility also. He needs medication for his eyes. We visit him, we talk to him, we interview him, we document him. So there are many ones who have forgotten. Because they're not coming to Bingi, you don't see them. So because they're not coming to Bingi, you ignore them. It's not good enough. There should be a checklist of people in Rastafari. If they pass through earth, if Sister Pam, Bongo Town Empress, is reaching out, so sometimes she go to bed without food, she needs glasses. How about that? We need to have a list of people who are in need from Jamaica side, Nyahbinghi House and otherwise. So whatever funds come from overseas, we could match it, we could administrate it, we could have reports, proper reports and documentation. You see? So right now, I'm in the process of getting a bank account for World Sound Power Collective because the 501c3 now, so everything is accountability, money coming in, proper accountability. Although we have accountability still, but it's a requirement of the American law. So you don't want to become a money laundering thing and send the money where it is not going, see? So all that, bank accounts, everything has to be established. But how best, what report will I give to World Sound Power Collective of the work in Jamaica from organizations who are doing the same, fulfilling the creed as part of their mandate? But that is also good, come here. So I need also to have that report so I can bring forward the list of people who are in need. So in case we are doing a project for a particular elder, we don't isolate the project. We do it as a balanced project. You put some, we put some, we send in people to do. What we realize is that there's a chronic medical situations of cancers, various levels of cancers, earners, hypertension, right? We knew that Rastafari eat out of his own vineyard. Everybody go in the supermarket and mega mart and all kind of place in the wrong. How come we're having these cancers now, level 4, prostate cancer and all kind of cancer and all kind of thing? Something is wrong. So maybe we as one want to fulfill the creed, we have to have farms now, organic farms. Full time. We say in ganja, go on to the farm now for the food. No ganja alone, you know, man eat food too. That is saying, you're going to eat a weed that you're hungry and you're going to say, what happened to you? What happened to your food? What happened to your juice? So we have to rethink the strategies of how best we can fulfill the creed. See? By having organic farms, yes, and partnership with international organizations. What is the policy? What is the way forward? Because the need is real. We have housing needs. We have ancients on my list, you know, who have a toilet, you know. You know, have not physical toilet. That is saying, so how come you have an ancient? And many Asians not coming to Bingi because they're sick. How many of us go to them and sit and reason with them at their gates? No matter how them gates is. Because if you fulfill the creed by giving money, and you're not visiting the ancient, you're not fulfilling your creed. Because with the money alone can't work. You need to see your face, talk to him, and maybe fulfill the creed is not money. It's just time spent. Talk to the Asian, make him feel like him to do something for Rasta. He will make him sacrifice. See? A lot of things we need to do. And we need to, many people say them now buried dead and them but dead body and so where is the tape for rites of passage for man who church? That's fulfilling the creed too. Because people put in Rasta in a church and church don't want a Rasta and drum beating in church.
Orthodox church.
Them things are full because that's a part of the creed too. His Majesty do that. So are we different from His Majesty? Are we not His children? What is our role when it comes to these things? So we can take up the things them, you know. Some among us have to be able to do it. Or we partner with Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Some partner we must go on. So when a man church show, you know, make a pass boy and say, yo, come out of my church. Because you don't talk about no Jesus thing. Or maybe if the family, blood family, want that we as Rastafari say no, is Rastafari is our family. You can make your contribution and we will deal with that. At different levels, you know, you fulfill a creed, you know. Because death is a reality. We Rastafari born dead business, but we know say you can't be stupid. A fact. So we have to put in measures to deal with those things. Some of us who have the ability and the capabilities will do it, not all, you know. But we have to identify these people who's willing to care those who are and don't condemn them. That's it, because those are things. So how best can we partner with others? How best can we identify our present needs then? Maybe we can do